Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty specific but really important in Philippine government contracts.
We're talking Republic Act 12009.
Right. Exactly. Specifically, how documents are handled during bid openings. There's this strict pass-fail thing based on just having everything submitted.
It's a critical point.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today, essentially, is to nail down that main rule about document submission.
And then explore the exceptions because, well, there are exceptions that allow for some flexibility.
Right. Let's start with the general rule then. RA12009 is pretty clear on this.
Super strict, I gather.
Very. The
Right.
baseline is, when the bids are opened, bidders must have submitted all the required documents completely.
And the Bids and Awards Committee, the BAC, they just check the list.
Yep. It's a non-discretionary pass-fail check. They don't really have leeway at that point.
So if even one thing's missing, or maybe incomplete.
You're immediately disqualified, out of the running. It ensures everyone starts on the same verifiable footing.
Okay, that sets a high bar from the get-go. But you mentioned exceptions. What's the first one?
Yes. Electronic bid submissions. This is where technology meets procurement law.
How does that work differently? Do you still need everything up front?
Well, initially, for online submissions, scanned copies of the documents are accepted, which is helpful, right? Makes it easier to participate.
Definitely. Especially across different islands, but there's a catch, I assume.
There is. It's sort of a two-stage verification. Later, during what's called post-qualification,
Okay.
the bidder must submit the original copies of certain key documents, specifically the bid securing declaration, unless you used cash, and the omnibus sworn statement.
That omnibus sworn statement, that's the big one, affirming everything. Right?
Exactly. It covers eligibility, compliance, all sorts of declarations. So the physical originals are still needed for those specific items.
And if you don't provide those originals later...
Then your bid becomes non-compliant.
Yeah.
Even if you pass the initial check with scanned copies, you get post-disqualified.
Right, so the digital convenience has a physical accountability step built in later. Makes sense. What's the next exception?
This one involves national security procurements.
Ooh, okay. That sounds like it would need special handling. Transparency might be different there.
Precisely. In these cases, the head of the procuring entity, the HOPE, actually has the discretion to limit the disclosure of certain parts of the procurement documents.
Like what kind of parts?
Think highly sensitive technical specifications, maybe classified details, things you wouldn't want broadly publicized for security reasons.
So the HOPE gets to decide this. It's not automatic.
Correct. The HOPE has to weigh it up carefully. They'll look at the nature of the documents, the classification, sensitivity, confidentiality, all in relation to why someone might be requesting access.
It's a balancing act then. Openness versus protection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A